Assalamu alaikum dear learners. I welcome you all here at Allama Iqbal Open University Studios. I hope you all are fine and enjoying the weather. The topic that we have selected for today is the future continuous tense. And again, the idea is taken from the book that has already been provided to you by the university. To get the more details about the topic, I'll invite our own expert, Mr. Arshad Mahmood. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Arshad.
Wa alaikum assalam. And today I'll say, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you doing?
Me too, thank you.
The topic that we have selected for today is future continuous tense, and I want you to elaborate every detail to me and to our dear learners.
You know, in one of the programs in the past, we said there is no future tense.
I know, and I still remember that.
Yes. So there is no future tense. Learners, just to revise the thing, just to tell you that there are two tenses, past and present. But future tense definitely is used with the help of will or shall. Today we'll be discussing these tenses. You know, I often discuss these tenses from two different angles, function and form. Form is very important. It is taught in our schools, colleges, but the thing that lacks is the function. People don't teach functions. As a result, you learn the form, and as soon as the examination is over, you forget everything. Today, once again, I'm, because of that reason, focusing on the form
and the function
first, and then the function. Form, as usual, I'll be discussing three different forms: affirmative or positive, second is negative, and the third is interrogative or question form. Now, form here is subject, and then we've got will or shall according to the subject, plus be. Be is very important here because the next verb after be is going to be in the ing form, and then object if it is needed. I'll make a sentence. Anthony will be doing his work. I'll ask you some question based on pronunciation, not grammar. How will you spell the word Anthony?
A-N-T-H-O-N-Y.
Good. So you know how people pronounce this word?
Anthony.
Anthony Quinn. It is Anthony. So the sentence was, Anthony will be doing his work. Second example, you will be picking apples in winter. I will be boiling eggs tonight. She will be buying an oven tomorrow.
So, sorry for interruption. Kindly write down the formula. It's subject, then will or shall according to the subject, then be, and then verb with the ing form, and then if the object is required. Write down the formula for yourself.
You're a fast learner. Good.
Thank you.
You've got very good memory. Pakistan will be playing Football World Cup in 2030. Do you think Pakistan will be playing
You never know.
Football.
Football? I don't think so.
I think our team is very bad. We don't have this trend in Pakistan. But it is a very popular game in Brazil, Argentina, that is
England.
Latin America, yes, Europe as well.
The Manchester United team.
Exactly, form, that is club cricket, club football, sorry. Then form is, we've got the next form that is negative. Very simple, very easy. Subject plus will or shall according to subject, and then after
Not.
shall or will we use not, and then be as we did in positive, plus ing form and object if needed. Or if there is no object, sometimes we can have an adverb. I'll explain, I'll give some examples. Anthony will not be doing his work. Here, will and not, and then be doing is there. You will not be picking apples in winter. So in winter here is not object, it is adverb of time. But if you compare this with the first sentence, that was Anthony will not be doing his work, so his work is object.
Right.
But in winter is the adverb of place.
Right.
I will not be boiling eggs tonight. Again, tonight is adverb, but adverb of time. She will not be buying an oven tomorrow. Again, we have got an object in this sentence and adverb as well. We will not be playing Football World Cup in 2030.
Right. So I will repeat the formula for you. The formula is subject, then will or shall according to the subject, then not, and then be, and then the verb with the ing form, and then in the end the object if required.
Good. Shall we move to question form now?
Yes, sure.
In question form, will or shall we start the sentence with will or shall. I mean, they're brought to the beginning of the sentence, and then subject is here, plus be, plus ing form, and then object, if required.
Will Anthony be doing his work?
Yes, sure. Same sentence. Will Anthony be doing his work? Will you be picking apples in winter? Will I be boiling eggs tonight? Will she be buying an oven tomorrow? Will we be playing football World Cup in 2030? Question form.
So I should repeat the formula. It's will or shall in the beginning is the question form. Will or shall in the beginning, then the subject with be, and then verb with the ing form, in the end the object if required.
And one thing is missing.
The adverb? No, the question mark.
Good, very good. Question mark, do you think it's important?
Very important. Punctuation, they actually let us know what was the tone.
Tone, or sometimes like they've got different ideas. Question mark shows it is a completion of a statement, a sentence that is not a statement, that is a question.
It is being asked.
Yes, in spoken we simply raise our tone. Will you come? But in written we put a question mark. And like talking about punctuation, I hope you know the difference between semicolon and colon. Colon and like colon is used, for example, two dots. Colon, for example, if I say if you want to make a plan for Murray, you need the following items, colon. And you will state those items. There are different functions of colon, two or three. But here the most crucial is one I've just stated. And if you compare colon with semicolon, semicolon in fact is the extension of the same previous idea. Look, he's not very hardworking, semicolon, he keeps on wasting time.
Right.
Referring back to, but sometimes I think of these punctuation marks and I find them quite funny. You know why? Semi means half. Look, circle and semicircle. What is semicircle? Half circle.
Half circle.
And semi, let's say, semi-final, something, half final, before the final. But when I say semicolon, it should be one dot.
I know.
Because it should be half of
the colon. Colon is with two dots. Semicolon should be only one dot. But that is a full stop.
Yeah, but then look at even full stop. Why do we use full stop in English?
To end a statement.
End the statement. And why do we begin the next with capital in English?
It's a new statement.
But full stop means
it was ended. Right.
So
I know that is funny.
That is funny.
But important as well.
Punctuation is important, very important in English. Shall we move to the function now?
Sure. Please.
Function, I hope you know where or how we use this tense. Right. The future continuous tense represents an action as going on at some point in future time. I shall or will be visiting him tomorrow. We are keeping in mind that time, tomorrow.
Right.
One more sentence. In the next program, we will be discussing something else.
Right.
I'm imagining that time in future. They will be buying a new house next month. And Jacob will be talking to Thomas soon. Dear learners, I try my best to bring you the things which are very useful for you, apart from syntax, I mean grammar. So in this sentence, for example, Jacob is a word that you can see is usually mispronounced in our social context. We pronounce it Jacob. That is in Urdu Yaqub, but in English it should be Jacob. And Thomas is usually pronounced as Thomas. It should be Thomas, like we just mentioned. Anthony, not Anthony. So there are different names that we must keep in mind, like how to pronounce them. If you mispronounce them, it leads to bad impression on the ears of the listener. And the person is from that society. For example, if you're pronouncing Charles and the person who's speaking to is also from England or his name is Charles, he might mind this thing. So it's something very important, I think. We must keep in mind grammar plus pronunciation. Okay, coming back to the topic, one more example. Will his mother be making tea now? Imagine, you're imagining that time, like the action going on in your mind. The lion will not be hunting anymore. People will no more be using technologically old cell phones. And our country will soon be utilizing solar energy. I hope so. We also use future progressive tense. Progressive, I hope you know, continuous. Two different names for the same tense. We use this tense to refer to future events which are fixed or decided, or which are expected to happen in the normal course of events. It does not suggest the idea of personal intentions. For example, the hospital will be setting up a camp for the asthma, on Saturday. Asthma, A-S-T-H-M-A. People usually pronounce this word as asthma, and we say asthmatic patient, and the word is asthma. The name of the disease is asthma. In Urdu, we call it Dhamma. He will be telephoning soon, and I will be visiting you one of these days. Again, same form, be plus ing form, imagining something going on sometime in future. This tense is also used to predict the present. You see something interesting? Future tense is being used to predict something that is going on now. So it is used to predict the present, to say what we think or guess is probably happening now. For example, don't phone Amjad now. You're imagining that this thing is happening right now, so you should not disturb him because he is taking lunch. I think we should not go to him. Why? He must be discussing his case with the doctor. Interesting, isn't it? So English sometimes becomes quite confusing. Sometimes we use present tense for future. Sometimes we use future tense for present. Look, present tense for future. I'm going to him tomorrow. So here tense is present but referring to future. But in this tense, we are using future tense but thinking of like the case that is like something that is going on right now. This tense can be used to make polite inquiries about people's plans. By using this tense to ask, what have you already decided? The speaker shows that he does not want to influence the listener's intentions. It's very important. Compare, will you be staying this evening? It's very polite inquiry. And the second is, are you going to stay this evening? It is not very polite comparing with the first one. I'll discuss these in detail. First sentence, what I said, will you be staying this evening? It's very polite inquiring, and this suggests that I simply want to know your plans. I don't want you to stay, or I don't want you to leave. I don't have any personal intentions. But comparing this with the second sentence, are you going to stay this evening? Here, maybe the speaker is pressing or putting some sort of, maybe he's trying to influence the listener. And if you want to make a request or order, you can say, will you stay this evening? It is sort of, let's say, or will you stay this evening? This is sort of request. So in English, sometimes the things may appear same at surface level, but they may give you quite different idea. And this reminds me of something very interesting. Look at two sentences. They stopped to talk and they stopped talking. Can you judge? Like, they stopped to talk and they stopped talking. Look at the form. Both belong to past form. They stopped to talk and they stopped talking. In the first one, they stopped, past form, to talk. That is to infinitive. And the second one, they stopped talking. ing form is there after stopped, which shows that like both the sentences are in the past. But the difference is that when I say they stopped to talk, means they looked at each other, they met somewhere, they stopped. Why? To talk. It means they started talking. And they stopped talking, it means they ended. I was saying English becomes confusing sometimes at surface. So this is one of the examples. One more example. I saw him run and I saw him running. In I saw him run, action was complete. The action of running was completed by the runner. I saw him run. Or if I provide you some easier, better context, the police saw the thief run. It means when the police saw, or when the police reached, the thief had already run. Sorry. And the police saw the thief running and caught it. So running means here action was going on and the police caught it. So be careful while using these structures in examination. If you're not sure of a structure, don't use it. Last but not least, progressive form of going to is also possible with this tense. I'm going to be working all day tomorrow, but usually we say I will be working the whole day tomorrow. So I won't have time to shop. Here going to can be used for the same future progressive tense,
Right.
but may not be very common.
I just wanted to ask you, what is the major difference between the present continuous tense and the future continuous? I mean, how can we differentiate between them?
It's quite important, I think, because people commit mistakes in examination. They simply mix them
I
up.
know, and I've been through that
Yes.
difficulty.
If you look at the name of this tense, future continuous. So future means will or shall must be there. And then be must be there. Be in fact is a form like instead of is MR. In fact, is MR, was were are different forms of be. Look, in continuous I say, I am standing, you are. For you it becomes are, for me it becomes am. Or for we are standing, and she is or he is standing. It means in continuous tense, in present, is, am, are have to be used very carefully. But in future continuous tense, we must add something else, that is will or shall
Be.
plus be. Why be? Because it is a rule that after will, we
Or
must
shall.
add the base form, and the base form is not is, am, are.
It's be.
The base form is be.
Be.
Good. And some people often confuse like he doesn't have with he doesn't has. They say what is shouldn't be he doesn't has because of he.
No,
They-
but we
they-
use have with does.
Yes, but he doesn't have. Is it wrong or right? He doesn't have. It is right.
It is right.
If I say he doesn't has,
That
is
is wrong.
Why? Because does
Changes that
after
has
does
to
there
have.
must be base form. After does it should be
The
have.
base form.
And many people in Pakistan, maybe most of you think that has is a base form. No, that is wrong. Have is a base form, and it has got a different shape in present, that is has. In the past it changes into had. So he doesn't have a book is the right sentence. Not he doesn't has, that is wrong. So in present tense, present continuous, we use is, am, are. I mean any of the forms of be according to the subject. If it is I, then am. If it is you, it is are, or he, she is. And then ing form of the verb. Because the name of the tense is, the names are, the name is continuous. Present continuous, future continuous. The difference is that in present continuous, it is am, plus ing form, and in future continuous, it will or shall
with
plus
be,
be
and then the verb with the
continuous
ing
form. So if people keep these rules in mind, I hope they can learn these tenses quickly and for longer time, because these very names are very important. Look at perfect. Perfect continuous tense. It means, if I say present perfect continuous, it means the tense, the perfect means has or have, present means not had but has or have, continuous means there should be ing form as well.
Yeah, actually,
so
I
he
wanted
has
you-
been doing like this.
I wanted you to differentiate the present continuous tense and the future continuous tense with reference to an example. I mean,
Right. Example is, I am flying today. I'm not an aeroplane.
I'm flying to some other city or some other country.
Yes. And I will be flying next month. So what's the difference? Will coming in,
The action that is yet to be done, the
Yes.
function of the.
but I'm imagining an action at some point in future. I will be. Look, tomorrow you will be taking lunch at this time. Imagining something that is yet to take place, but that will be going on. Duration is there for future. So when I say I will be flying next month, I can imagine, and duration and the things are in my mind at particular time in future. So I am standing here today, and I will be standing here maybe next week.
Now I
For the next
seriously
program?
agree with the idea that if we know the function of the tense, then learning grammar is no more harder.
It becomes easy, you're right, and people learn it for a longer time.
I know.
Because what happens in schools, I still remember I learned these tenses when I was in maybe class 5, at high school, secondary school, in my college, in my university even. I learned these rules, but the moment the examination was over, I forgot most of the things.
Everything just flew away.
Yes, and learners, I will advise all of you to practice these things. You must find
I
somebody
know.
in your family to speak English with. I'm not saying English is the only language in the world, but since you're learners, and English is a global need now, it is a need of, it is something that is shared by the international community. So you must speak English with somebody in your family, with a cousin, with a friend, anybody, so that you can use these tenses. It is not simply learning for the sake of examination. You must learn these tenses for the sake of communication.
I know.
Have you got any foreign friend? Anybody from some other country?
Yes, I do have.
From?
From England. One from England, one from America. That is why I have got the major confusion in which accent I have to talk to the American friend and in which accent I have to talk to the
and how to pronounce
British friend.
Sometimes you pronounce something in British English, an American would say.
And then I have to rephrase it.
Yes.
I meant this.
Yes, but you're lucky because you've got a person from English-speaking countries. But imagine you had a friend from China or Russia,
Ooh, life has been
or
tough.
from Saudi. It is very hard because sometimes you can't judge what the person is saying, and sometimes we think what we're saying is very clear, but for them that might be quite difficult. I'll give one example. I had like a Chinese friend. I said, give me a pen. He said, what is pen? I said, pen. He said, what is pen? I said, a pen. He said, okay, pen. I thought you were saying pen.
Right.
So they confuse ka and ga. If we say ka, they say you're saying ga. It is just because of the influence of the mother tongue. So that is natural all over the world that different languages have got different moods of grammar, of sounds. So if you want to learn English language, you must practice it. You must practice the rules of English.
Perfect.
And translation doesn't help much.
Seriously.
Because in school, like I still remember our teacher used to say ga hai, gi hai, ge hai. That is right for making people understand. But if you simply ignore the practice side, the function side,
it's of no use.
Don't
Otherwise,
learn.
this program is going to be of no use if you don't practice anything at your place. So you keep on practicing.
Right. So people, if they want to learn the things in a better way, in minute manners, I think it is very good if they compare English rules with Urdu rules or the rules of their mother tongue. They may remember for a long time. I keep on giving examples from Urdu language because I feel that if
it's going to be more helpful.
Yes, because it helps in understanding the language, our language.
I know.
A few days ago, I was reading something interesting in a book by Frank Palmer. He's written a very good book on grammar. He says in English, for example, boy, it's a noun. When we use an adjective, for example, a good boy or a tall boy, tall remains same. Tall for boy, tall for girl, tall for people. But in Urdu, what happens? Lamba, ladka, lambi, ladki, lambe log. It means in Urdu language, noun changes the adjective as well.
Right.
But in English, it remains same. So in that area, English may be easier than Urdu language.
So I think, Mr. Ashit, this is all for today. I mean, otherwise it's going to be too much for our learners and they are going to be in some difficulty. I would repeat, kindly note down all the formula that Mr. Ashit explained to you. That is going to be helpful. That is going to make things more easier to you. That is all for today. Take care. Allah Hafiz.